So we have seen an officer stop by this location to check out the structure behind us, and there's a good reason for that. You can actually see the fire that was part of this building start back up. We've seen smoke lofting in the area. A photojournalist that I'm with has called 911 to alert emergency responders that it appears that the fire has sparked back up. Let's take a look at some video that was shot earlier today. Police tell us that originally emergency responders were called to the scene around 10:30 last night to find flames shooting up from the home, and we are starting to see those again. Local police say at least 2 firefighters were hurt while battling the heat and flames. A portion of the vacant home collapsed off of Lawndale and West 137th Street. It is unclear if that was the reason those emergency responders were injured. Also unclear is how severe those injuries are at this time. Cops believe that no one was living there when the fire started. Investigators are looking into the cause as well as the origin. Of course, investigators will be also looking into if that fire was intentionally set, and behind me we can start to see flames kicking back up. Again, we have contacted first responders to get back to the scene to secure this area. We will be here as we get more information on the nature of the fire. The injuries of those firefighters earlier will of course pass that along to you. At sunset, neighbors aren't allowed in this part of Fairdale. It remains too dangerous after dark, a quiet disaster area. The loud work during the day, however, brings the community closer to normalcy. More than 1,600 volunteers helped to sort through hundreds of tons of debris. It is not far from a now exposed house foundation, once home to tornado victim Jerry Schultz.
A confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located just west of Kirkland.
The calm of the dispatcher is a sharp contrast to the violent storm.
The Tom Bell farm was completely destroyed.
It'll take until next week to remove what the tornado turned into debris.
I think they're right there in that box.
As a result, volunteers turned this school bus garage into a makeshift store. Neighbors grab items donated to make ends meet. For the last week, the cycle of loud steps towards rebuilding continues to be followed by the silence after the deadly storm.
They'll make every effort to get back to normal. It may not be exactly the same, but the folks who are determined to do that, I think, will succeed. The configuration may be different, but the people's determination will be the same.
The sheriff says there are reports of people collecting money for tornado victims and possibly pocketing it for themselves. They remind people if you do want to donate, make sure to go through the appropriate channels. If moving into a house is a fluid process, consider this unpacking.
My son's clothes.
One step toward feeling at home for Kristen Skindary, husband Ozzy, and 14-month-old baby Nixon.
His Santa outfit.
All are temporarily staying at Kristen's mom's in Des Plaines.
It's not nap time yet, buddy.
It is their first weekend back after a frightening journey beginning with what doctors told them was a death sentence.
They said, enjoy your son, because he will probably not live past the age of 3.
About 9 months ago, the family learned Nixon had Gaucher's disease. That's when the body lacks an enzyme leading to organ damage. It can be as fatal as it is rare.
He's like 1 of 12 in the world.
But rather than move towards mourning, over the past several months, the couple moved from place to place to save their son.
We went to a children's hospital in Cincinnati, Ohio.
We lived in Loyola.
The only real places we visited were hospitals.
We lived in Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh.
There, doctors performed an umbilical cord stem cell transplant. The process included chemotherapy, killing the disease, but also Nixon's ability to fight off infection. The transplant offered a way to rebuild what Gaucher's and treatment destroyed.
That's my guy.
Yeah, buddy.
It also rebuilt a family's sense of hope.
There's nothing showing that he has Gaucher's disease anymore.
The next move they hope to make is even further away from a deadly disease.
So surreal to be back here in Chicago.
The Skindaries are not calling this a cure. Because of the rarity of Nixon's case, doctors aren't sure what his future holds. What they have said, his life expectancy is now greater than age 3. His parents hoping to be part of it for much, much longer than that.
I lost my job at the end of 2012.
In the final moments of busy holiday shopping, it is possible to miss Brian and his dog Blue.
Oh, big boy, there you go.
Like many others panhandling, they rely on the kindness of strangers.
Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you very much. God bless you.
And as night begins to close out the season of sales and shopping,
Ho, ho, ho.
Richard McNeil and his sister are bringing the last-minute shopping to those less fortunate.
What's up, boss man? You need anything?
He gives out food and water.
Got it? Yeah. Good.
For those asking for help, there is clothing.
I've got some pants.
His bag is full of his own clothes and others donated by friends. He has used his own cash to buy strangers food.
Need a sandwich, some water.
What he asks for in return
Shake my hand, boss.
costs only a smile and a greeting.
Give me some. Bless you, man.
If you asked why he's spending his own money and time outside when so many are inside a shopping store,
Just hit me like, why not be a blessing before Christmas?
holiday inspiration unwrapped and delivered on the streets of Chicago.
So many times we have our hands out instead of giving someone something.
The view is fantastic. The view is of downtown Chicago.
After the rush, a rush hour.
Yeah, always running around, always working through traffic.
Daisy Arashiba settles into his 2-bedroom, 1.5-bath apartment. The comic actor and musician calls this home and home office for,
What, 7 years?
but this year he discovered his nest
Was that a falcon?
expanded unexpectedly.
Well, I'm sure you know the Chicago Housing Authority's like, that's not a legal bedroom out there in the balcony.
Part of his 28th floor Lakeview apartment was taken over by a pair of squawky squatters.
When they get together, they become kind of the Bickersons. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, I've been flying around hunting things. What do you got? I got something. I just killed it. You want to eat some? Sure. You know.
Peregrine falcons are a bird of prey traditionally nesting in places like barren cliff faces.
And I happen to have empty window boxes because I'm a terrible gardener.
He branded the birds after famous musicians,
Steve and Linda, because Perry, Steve Perry and Linda Perry.
eventually discovering his new neighbors made more than music.
And there are 4 chicks. There's Luke Perry, Katy Perry, Joe Perry, and because it's Chicago, Refrigerator Perry.
The birds are federally protected, so it is against the law to move the nest. Arashiba has limited access to his balcony for about another month. That's when this feathered family could say farewell.
Chicks that have been born here have ended up as far away as Ecuador.
For now, the hum of traffic is part of the lullaby for 4 newborns. The Windy City providing a perch and one man providing the rent for some temporary tenants.
So there they are. Unfortunately, I'm okay with it.
Jeremy Ross, CBS 2 News.